really, Mercury, my biggest question is, how were you born? How did this happen?
There is this magical thing in the world. It's called peer pressure, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, during Halloween time, I used to enjoy lovely cranberry vodkas that I could get for free from the bartenders. And so after 2 or 3, I somehow found myself in a China Bang wig and something sparkly. And similar to Georgia, I walked out on stage thinking that I was leaving the club, and everybody started applauding. And then I found my love for raising attention for my favorite causes. Me. I love attention. A lot of it. So, yes, God.
I feel like Georgia McBride is nowhere without Miss Tracy Mills.
Yeah. Well, I'm her drag mother. And I think for me, I always related to this role just because, I don't know, she's from the maternal aspect of it. And I guess I just feel like I'm kind of a mom. I feel just sort of am. I've always felt close to Tracy. She has the thing about her that's, she has an extraordinary wit that it is just, there's nothing better than being able to get up on stage and say Lopez's lines every night, because they're funny as hell. And it's got to be the best written character that I've read in a long time for a man, especially for a man my age. It doesn't get better than that.
I'll tag on to that, and at the risk of talking about an actor in front of him, but we went to New York to cast these parts because, nobody in our company, Greg Alexander wasn't going to play Tracy Mills, right? So we knew we had to go out of town. And myself and Dana Brooke sat in a room and saw a bunch of actors come in and read for Tracy Mills. And I got to say, I was sitting there, I would say most of them were able to come in and get that wit, get the sassy, hit those punchlines. Everyone made me laugh. Cameron came in and immediately he had that heart. He had that maternal thing, whatever it was. But he also just slayed me and Dana with his heart, and it was a no-brainer from there. So we're really fortunate that he came
in. You all don't know, this show has been produced everywhere, and it's been acclaimed everywhere. It's one of the hottest places in America. Why is this play specifically so people can connect with it, and they can understand a world that they may know, like Mercury Rising, or people don't know at all, like Dave Perini. And so, I'm just joking. And so, why is this play? Why do people can connect with this world of yes?
The dawning of acceptance is what she said.
I feel like the answer, yes.
I think it kind of goes back to what Cameron was saying about it being written very specifically. Mm-hmm. So it's comes from a very specific community, the way it's written, like you said, the jokes, the references, things that it's talked about. And I think that we are more alike than we are different, and we get caught up in the drama of life and whatever this country and this world has told us that, these people don't look like you, these people don't talk like you, these people don't have as much money as you or whatever, so they're different than you. But when you come into a theater, which I kind of compare to a church, there's always a divine experience happens, like a spiritual experience happens in a room like this, and it helps us to realize that we are way more alike than we are different. And just because someone doesn't look like me or doesn't do the same things as me doesn't mean we don't share some of the same hopes, dreams, the want to be accepted, the confusion of not knowing exactly who you are or what space in life you're in. We can all relate to that, and I think that's why when you see this show, we can all relate to loving someone. We can all relate to being, if you've had children. There's so many different parts of the play that you can connect to. And if you can just connect to one thing, even if it's, hell yeah, the song, you remember that song, so you can connect to that. If you can connect to one little thing, then it's going to open your heart to receive the rest of what's being poured out. And I think that's the magic of theater in general.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to really quickly point out, this play came across my desk 3 years ago. Nick Searley, who was an actor you saw in Byron Cellar and Act of God, he had an early version of this script that was totally different, where Georgia goes to the World Championships of drag, and it was so different. But he had thrown me that script years ago, and I knew right away that it was something that I wanted us to do. But you just have to look at the turnout for a talkback. We've not had a crowd this size for talkbacks for the entire year. We're lucky if we get 2025. So just look at what happened. You guys wanted to Sean, trust me, it's never been this big. It's never been this big because something about this play works. There's something special about this show, the heart, the accessibility, the entry level for anybody. So gay, straight, doesn't matter. You've got an entry point. Capitalist, you got Eddie, whatever it is, you've got your entry into the story, into the world, and the play just works. And we can just tell, I can just tell by looking at this crowd. I'm sorry, Sean, that's no reflection on you, but this is a pretty impressive size.
It's amazing.
I would like to say that I think that they're all here because we all told them that they were going to get a tucking demonstration. And nasty.
All right. Nasty. And corrected that.
I want to speak to that very briefly, not the tucking. Sean's question.
It takes a village.
Right. Tell me that. So I am a queer actor, and I don't get to play queer roles all that often. And when I do, though, what's very unique about this play, one of the reasons I love it so much, is that although there is a moment of it for Rexy, that ultimately this show is a celebration of joy. And very often when I am tasked with playing a queer character, it's an exploration of their trauma. And this is a play about joy. Yeah. And I love that. And it's going alongside of a time where, frankly, queer people in our country and in the world are in danger right now, more than they have been. The pendulum is swinging the other way. So what I love about this celebration of joy is that it asks everyone to come to the table. It is a play for everyone. And yet there is still that moment in which Rexy asks of you, please remember what queer people had to sacrifice and fight for in order for all of us to experience this joy. Yeah.